Hello and welcome into the Hockey Fellas podcast. This is your host, Zach Ferreira, and I'm joined by your co-host, Larry Prelog, the one and only. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So let's jump in and talk about kind of what we're going to do with this podcast. For me, I just really want to cover everything involving hockey, like not any specific league. And I know you've kind of got a similar passion for hockey. I'm just curious, like, how did you get into hockey?
I think my first exposure to hockey was Mighty Ducks, the movie Mighty Ducks. I can't remember if it was the first one or D2. I remember watching those movies as a child and thinking they were really cool. The Bash Brothers were awesome, how they just beat people up every game. I thought that was really cool as a kid and was kind of bummed out to find out that that's not how it's supposed to go in hockey, actually,
It's
as
not?
I got older.
Dang.
But my first ever hockey game I went to was, I think it was a Notre Dame hockey game, and they played Ferris State, and it was at their old arena.
Beautiful.
And yeah, they played Ferris State there.
What was the old arena called for Notre Dame?
I think it was at the Joyce Center.
Joyce Center? Okay.
I don't remember who won that game.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I cared. But I remember going to that game and thinking all the chants, like hearing all those chants people make for the first time, like against the goalies and stuff like that when they let goals in. And hearing all that for the first time was really, really cool.
Absolutely.
For me. And then I didn't get heavily into hockey for a long time after that. It wasn't until I started working where I work now, where it felt like everyone I met and worked with at the time was all into hockey, and they kind of gave me the itch to want to start watching it, and then I started watching it, and now I'm watching it religiously, and now I'm going to games as often as I can with any free time that I have, which is very, very little nowadays, but I try to fill all of that with as much hockey as I possibly can.
For sure. So, like, definitely the energy of the crowd was, like, a big thing that motivated you, got you excited. Me too, man. I think, like, Notre Dame was also my first game, and I'm proud to say that. Like, I love that team for sure. I don't really remember how old I was, but pretty young. And, yeah, that's why I can't even remember if, like, it was the Joyce Center or not.
I don't know if it was called that.
I don't even know.
I remember it being in a building that was like split in two.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Compton where I saw it. I think it's where they played basketball.
Yeah, me
which
too.
is the Joyce Center.
I think so. And my friend's dad was taking me. I grew up watching the Avalanche, and I just love them. I'm from Colorado. I love the Colorado-Detroit rivalry. That was the main thing besides Notre Dame that really got me into hockey, was like the drama and the fighting, the excitement, the big hits. I mean, that was like a legendary time in hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of how we got into hockey, and I think we worked together for a couple years, and about a few years ago I proposed the idea of like a hockey podcast. And I know Larry here is a hockey fella, so I think that's kind of how we got the name, right? Like,
I think so. And Hockey Fella is my name on something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But it's my username on something.
I had hockey.
Because I remember when I made it for making something on Instagram, you made a parody account called Hockey Smella.
Yeah, Hockey Smella. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Hockey fella and Hockey Smella.
Yeah.
So that's how you'll address us from now on as your hosts.
Hockey Smella.
But no, I remember like a couple years ago too, we started going to like college games, not just Notre Dame, but like we went to Wisconsin, we went to ECHL, AHL.
Western.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of my favorite memories with you, was Western Michigan University.
I think Western is one of my favorite places to go see hockey at.
Absolutely.
Western and both of my favorite places to go see hockey is Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
So the Wings Event Center I think is awesome. I love going to games there, and whatever the place is called in Kalamazoo for the Broncos, I just completely...
Lawson,
there it is. Yeah.
No, that place is legendary. Like,
love it.
I have a few friends I want to get into hockey right now, and they're interested, and I can't think of a better environment.
Love it.
Like,
I
love Notre Dame. Like you and I both just said, it has a special place in our hearts.
Yeah.
But like Lawson is known for, like you said, those chants, like really going after the refs and like screaming at players, and you can just feel like the room is just buzzing, and it's a small arena too.
I think Lawson was the first time I ever went down to the tunnel to high-five players. It was after Denver beat Western, and I didn't care. I thought it was awesome. They were stoked.
I remember Sean Barron's giving me a fist bump, and I was like, you just got selected by my favorite team.
Yeah.
So, anyway, today we're going to dive into our top 10 logos for just the NHL today, and we're planning on, like, revisiting some great logos, like ECHL, and I think even PWHL would be fun. Like,
most of those are bad. Most of those are very, very bad.
I just love all hockey, and logos are a super fascinating conversation with nostalgia and with like aesthetic. We've had some of our best, like I would say, funny conversations about logos and uniforms.
We talk about logos and uniforms a lot.
Yeah, so we could go on forever. That's part of how we got this started, right?
I will start it off saying this, save us some time.
Yeah.
Some of the worst I've ever seen is any special event a team does in the ECHL.
Oh, it's horrific.
They're the Blues Clues one we saw in Fort Wayne, I think.
Yeah, that was horrific.
And there was a Scooby-Doo one, and then there was like...
Which I'm all for Scooby-Doo, but that didn't pan out.
I like the idea, but they just look so bad.
I think both the K-Wings and the Comets have had some abysmal showings.
I like the idea. I think it's fun. Yeah. I think it's cool to do that, but...
Me too. Well, like... That's one thing I love about that league more than the NHL is at least they're trying stuff more.
Yeah.
Like, I know the NHL is getting better, but we'll kind of get into like how they're stuck in their ways, at least from my end. But I can't speak for you. So let's dive right in. I want to start with the top NHL logos. And
so do you want to do this going from number 10 to number 1? You say your 10, I say my 10. You say your 9, I say my 9.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my.
I put together a great presentation for this so that Larry and I can kind of look, and we're hoping to show you something on the screen for our logos.
I'm curious to see where we have some overlap.
Yeah.
See if we agree on it. I mean, we probably agree on some, but not the placement. I have some that were surprising to me. Just because as I was going through the list of all of them, I was like, I do like that one.
Yeah.
And I picked it. There are some that aren't even worthy to be best or worst. There's kind of meh. We can do that later.
But I think this is great. I'm going to jump right in number 10 for me. And this is a hot take. A lot of people think this is one of the worst. But for me, it's just lived on. I just love it. It's a classic. I love the colors. And that's the Philadelphia Flyers. So, again, I know... a lot of designers would hate this, and I just love it. That's one of the things I want to get into is the nostalgia behind these logos.
I like that one. It's on my list, but
it's
a little higher.
Okay, that's awesome.
My number 10 is reigning Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers.
Oh yeah,
I remember growing up in Florida. And I had a Florida Panthers something. It's either a crew neck or a T-shirt. I can't remember which. Yeah. But it was the old one, the old logo of like the pouncing.
Oh, the OG.
Yeah, the pouncing panther. I had that. I like the new logo a lot still too. I love their color combination that they use. Even their alternate with the palm tree and the sun on that baby blue.
I do like that one. I do like that one.
So good. But my number 10 is the OG Florida Panthers.
The pouncing one, right?
Pouncing, yeah.
I love that one for nostalgia reasons. I know, like, I do feel like designers wouldn't like it. It's got the 90s, or is it even 80s vibe? I'm not sure.
I think they came out in the 90s.
But definitely, like, kids growing up in the 90s were... obsessed with it, right? And that's the big thing about hockey is like I think with both the Flyers and the Panthers logos, it's like those are just classic.
They're classic.
If you know hockey, you love.
You see that one, you know what it is. You see the Flyers logo, you know what it is.
Absolutely, and Gritty definitely helps with that.
I love Gritty.
So, I'm gonna jump into my number 9, and it's the Blasty logo for the Calgary Flames.
Bro, my number 9 is the Calgary Flames.
No way. Okay. So they came out with the Blasty in 1998, and it went through 2007, and I freaking love this. They should have never got rid of it. They returned it in 2020. They've also got a mascot, a Blasty, that I loved, and I think they changed now. But just the red, black, and yellow combo, it's one of my favorite logos.
Is that a horse?
I believe so, yeah.
I've never been able to tell what it is.
It's like a better Bronco from Western Michigan, you know?
Gotcha.
I love that.
The Western Michigan Bronco is already good, but we'll get into that
I just think it's clean. I think this is the direction the NHL should lean, is this kind of logo.
Well,
just fun.
My number 9 is their current logo.
Oh.
I love that, the Flaming C. I love that one. That one stands out a lot to me because I had a game on my Game Boy. It was a hockey game. I don't know if it was NHL, anything yet, but I have vague shimmers in my mind of trying to select my team and picking based off of the cool logos. Yeah. I think I always picked the C, and unfortunately always picked the New Jersey Devils because I thought that logo was cool.
I see, yeah. Okay.
And I remember I had a strat in that game where I would go towards the goalie, go down, go up around behind it, and then come back down and shoot it before the goalie followed my player down. Goal every time.
That's awesome.
Goal every time.
I mean, I love their... I love that city, first of all. I love the colors, like I said, even with their alt. But personally, yeah, I tend to like their alternate more.
I liked their one from their outdoor game. I liked that one.
Oh, yeah, that one
better than a team that's on my least favorite that they played against in that game.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into it. All right, so both of our number 9s were Calgary Flames, right?
Dude, our number 9 and our number 8 are the same.
Now we're going number 8. So,
oh my God,
me, this is another alternate in Canada. This is a classic, and it has a fantastic story. This is the Johnny Canuck logo for the Vancouver Canucks. I love the story behind this. Basically, Johnny Canuck was a Canadian superhero in 1869 that was created as like a cartoon. And he was also like reinvented and revitalized in World War II as like a Canadian fighting Hitler through hockey or something crazy like that. I was reading about that, and I just love the logo with the like, sprinting ice skater with the stick and those colors. I mean, you can't beat that, right?
No, those are good.
Yeah,
I think the Abbotsford Canucks use that logo now.
Yeah, they do. I think that they might use it as like a shoulder patch. Yeah, so they use this, the Canucks used it in 52 through 70, and then in 08 and 09 they brought it back as a shoulder patch.
Kalamazoo Wings used it as a shoulder patch.
Yeah, I think that the Abbotsford Canucks use it as their primary logo, right? Yeah, it's fantastic, so...
My number 8 is the Vancouver Canucks.
You got the same.
I like their default one that they always use. I love that one. I think that one's so cool. It just reminds me of the logo. Reminds me of Free Willy.
I see. Yeah,
and the carvings and stuff he got.
Okay.
Of the killer whales.
Interesting.
That the natives made.
Are you a Canadian?
No.
Okay.
You're
a Floridian, right?
Yeah. I like that one a lot. This is weird that we both... I'm scared to see your number 7.
I'm excited to get into the worst after this because it's going to make for some great conversations.
Oh my God.
So, for me, number 7...
Dude, stop!
No way.
Stop!
Okay, this is crazy because we made this completely separately.
5 minutes on my break today.
We made this completely separately. I have the Mighty Ducks as number 7. So I love the original, the colors, the purple, the green. Is it green or teal?
I think it's like a teal.
It's dope. I love it. I mean, incredible just how clean it is. And then they bring it back this year, right, as the orange, which is also clean. I know they made some touch-ups too. And both the jerseys just look great. I mean, I can't even decide which one I like more. I feel like the orange is probably cleaner, but what are your thoughts?
I like the default colors, the teal and purple. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it just reminds me of the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. I mean, they complement each other too.
Yeah.
And I think, I was reading that they came out with this the year after the movie came out, which I didn't know. But that's incredible. I mean, they had some other logos too, very similar to this one, which I don't like as much. But yeah, so you had the same one, huh?
I have the same one. I have OG 90s in parentheses.
Absolutely. No.
Because again, of the movie.
Yeah, 1993.
Yeah.
And the movie was 92. So.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's my number 7.
That's awesome. And it has a connection to like how you kind of, you said one of your first introductions.
I would say it's probably why.
The flying V, right?
The flying, oh my gosh, it's knuckle puck time.
Not at all a hockey thing. So for me, number 6 is the Rest in Peace Arizona Coyotes, the Kachina logo. I adore this logo, and I love the colors on the uniform. I know there's like some kind of Native American heritage going on too with like, or Mesoamerican, with the way they patterned it, and I really love that. But yeah, just the colors and the logo overall, it's always been one of my favorites, and I'm devastated that they're gone. So I had to throw that up there for
Never
me.
forget. R.I.P. Never forget.
Yeah.
My number 6 is Philadelphia Flyers. Like we got into before. You look at it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
I think I've liked every variation they've done. Their Stadium Series jerseys were one of the best out of the ones that...
Yeah, incredible.
Actually, I think this is the first one where all of them were solid for the Stadium Series. I like the all-orange with just the all-black logo. And,
Gotcha.
Yeah. I like that logo a lot. I like the colors they use.
Yeah. Did you hear that the Flyers is one of the teams that they had like fans vote for the name?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I mean, people say they don't get the logo, like it doesn't make sense. I've always obviously we both love it. So I don't get that, but I can see why some people might not. I just think it's clean, right?
Why they call it a flyer?
I know.
Well, why?
So for number 5, I've got the Hartford Whalers. I believe that this is currently the Carolina Hurricanes, right?
Yes.
Which is devastating
Yes.
because they need to only use this logo because
specifically that one.
Yeah, between the H and the green and the blue, similar to the Alt Canucks jersey, like I love how clean it looks. The logo, this is the direction I wish the NHL would stick with, like just clean, great looking logos, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my pick for number 5.
My number 5 is a team that I want to see do well in the NHL.
Oh boy, yeah.
A team I believe in, outside of my own team that I love and hold near and dear to my heart, is the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah.
I like the one with the buffalo and the sabers crossed on it. I don't really care for the black and red one with the buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't like that one. It gives
goofball energy.
It gives high school football vibes to me. Something like it. It's the best thing I can think of. I don't like it, but I like the one that their regular one that they use, their home jerseys, and the blue and that yellow together are great.
Incredible.
I love I don't know. They're a team I really, really believe in. Yeah. And man.
Yeah, I love the colors. I've never been a big fan of the logo personally, but I've always loved Buffalo. My dear Bone Byron, you know.
Dear Bone.
So, great pick, man. For me, number 4, moving on, is the Detroit Red Wings. Like I said, one of the biggest things that got me into hockey was the rivalry between the Avalanche and the Red Wings. And a good rivalry is not born without like the deepest respect, in my opinion. I mean, I get the chills sometimes just looking at like videos and old pictures of like Datsuk and Iserman and like just all those guys on that team, and that logo, obviously original 6. I mean, there have been times in my life where I really feel like it is the best logo in hockey, but today I have it at number 4. So, yeah.
My number 4. Another team I believe in so much.
Mm-hmm.
Another team that I want to see succeed and do well. My favorite Canadian team, the Montreal Canadiens.
The Montreal Canadiens, baby.
The Habs. Go Habs, go.
Go Citizens.
I love that one.
Yeah. No,
Another classic.
It is.
Another original 6 team.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pretty much I have nothing but love and respect for all the logos of the original 6 hockey teams.
For sure. Like, and again, it's one of those things where like you can get online and read like people's perspectives that don't watch hockey, mm-hmm. and they hate them.
Yeah.
They think they're the worst. And then I take a step back and I'm like, okay, I see what they're saying, but like there's so much nostalgia there for me where I can't see, like with Montreal, like I know people hate it. Boston, people hate it. And I'm just looking at it like, for some reason, it's history. I can't look past like how much I love that, you know, how much it stands for hockey. So great pick for.
Yeah.
So for number 3, showing my bias here, I've got the Quebec Nordiques.
Dude.
I've got Joe Sakic, you know, just plastered in my mind. This is hockey. Like this is my first memories watching hockey. So when the Avs brought it back with that burgundy and white at Lake Tahoe, man, that made my year. So what do you think of this logo?
So real quick, I showed my bias for my number 3 as well.
Oh, you did.
So
okay.
This is crazy.
Okay.
I actually see someone at work on almost a regular basis who played for the Quebec Nordiques.
What's his name again?
His name is Mike McNeil.
Awesome. Incredible.
He's become a good friend of mine from coming in there all the time. He's signed some Nordique cards for me that I have at my house. I like that one a lot. That's another one I remember seeing scrolling through the teams to pick in my Game Boy game. Yeah, that's a good one.
What do you think? Should they bring it back?
I think yes.
Absolutely, right?
I think they should either bring that back and use it as a third, or just bring the Nordiques back.
Yeah, I want the Nordiques back. I really do. Quebec's a great city. I think they deserve it.
But you know, Gary Bettman. Yeah,
he's stuck in his ways, right? I don't understand it. Like I love the igloo and.
That's an igloo?
Yeah. So this part's the igloo here, and then there's a hockey stick and a puck, obviously. But I like how the colors blend together. I like the white version too. Just like a classic, right? I mean, This is a pretty old one too. So yeah, that came in 1979 through 95. Like when they came into the NHL in 79, I know they had been in the league before that, but when they moved in 95 to Colorado, they won the cup the first year. So they were super, super bad for a long time, and then they came and they won a cup. Like,
wow.
So pretty iconic. I mean, and then Colorado had their own kind of like, not dynasty, but definitely they're always in the Western Conference Finals. They had a couple cups, so
I like that blue a lot.
It's a classic. So
good blue.
What you got for your number 3, man?
My number 3, showing bias, like I said, my dear beloved New York Rangers.
Dearly beloved.
Formerly called Texas Rangers.
Really?
Of who they were owned by.
I actually didn't know that.
Fact check me, that could be wrong.
Oh.
I just remember reading the Wayne Gretzky book, which is great.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it, that man can spin a yarn and talk about... I can listen to that man talk about hockey or read him talking about hockey forever.
Really? Okay.
But I think they were owned by someone named Tex. And they were called Texas Rangers. Not Texas, but possessive Texas Rangers. One of the original 6 again.
Yeah, classic.
My all-time favorite, I'll say hockey team. I can't say my all-time favorite sports team. My all-time favorite sports team is Notre Dame. So
fair enough.
And everything.
I love the New York Rangers. I think it's one of the cleanest logos in the NHL.
I love it. I like their third that they used for a little bit. I think it was for a stadium series of some sort.
Yeah.
With the Statue of Liberty on it. I wish they would bring that one back. I have their third jersey at home from last season, which is great.
Yeah, their Statue of Liberty's in my honorable mentions.
It's very good. I like it a lot.
It's definitely a classic.
That's my number 3. I love New York. I love the Rangers.
Heck yeah, man.
Dude, stop!
Number 2, I've got I mean, maybe like in most designers' opinions, this might be the best logo.
We don't care what other designers
hands
think.
down.
This is about us.
But like, yeah, it is. But I'm saying aesthetically, the Seattle Kraken absolutely nailed it. I don't know what these haters that are out there doing who are like, oh, it's too modern.
That looks like something from the Rainbow Fish book. Yeah,
they have a heritage thing recently that some Latino folks did, and I really love it. It's incredible. And I know last year they did like a Native American one too, which was pretty cool. But I think there's so much you can do with this. I love it that the barb comes up through the logo. I don't know if you've noticed that. But
yeah.
The clean colors, I mean, what's not to love?
I like that a lot. Like I said, that one looks like Rainbow Fish passing out her scales to all her fish friends, which is fine. I like that.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
That's my number 2 as well. I remember drawing the S on all my binders and notebooks all throughout middle school.
Really? Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely a great one. I think it's going to live on as one of the best. So I've got another hot take for my number 1, which I have seen in people's least favorite multiple times.
Yeah.
And it is the New York Islanders alternate logo with the fisherman. This came out in the 95 and 96 season, and it's still used today. I truly hate their regular logo, but this one, blue and orange, like, I go hard for blue and orange. I freaking love it. I don't know. I love the uniform with the wave, and it has just enough of that nostalgia feel, but it's still clean. Like, it reminds me of an ECHL logo. Mm-hmm. I really like that look. I just do. So.
I believe their AHL affiliate uses some variation of that to Bridgeport Islanders.
Yeah.
I think they use a variant of that.
Yeah, I think you're right. But yeah, it's a classic for me. So hot take, right?
Yeah, that was certainly an interesting one. My number 1 is the one and only, the no longer active, the third best, unfortunately, for a current team, the Hartford Whalers.
I knew it.
I put Hartford as my number 1.
Great pick.
The Hartford Whalers logo is my favorite logo in all sports ever.
Yeah.
I love it so much. That's it.
It's incredible.
It's great. I love that one.
No, I also love it, and I think that's a fantastic pick. So, going on to the worst logos, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back in to the Hockey Fellas podcast. We're going to get into the 10 worst logos, starting from 10, moving to our absolute least favorite. So, Larry, kick us off with your number 10.
My number 10, and I'm going to show a little bit of biasness on this. I picked it because the team just annoys me.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, we actually talked about this one in our last conversation about logos on our way to that game in Fort Wayne. I hate the Toronto Maple Leafs logo.
Absolutely.
But I don't hate them enough to put them higher.
Yeah.
So I think a 10 is just perfect for them. There's just something about it I don't like. It feels
feels wrong.
Feels lazy.
Yeah.
To me. It feels like it could be so much more, and I just don't like it.
Yeah, do you think like maybe how annoying the Toronto market is might have something to do with it?
Probably has a lot to do with it.
But at the same time, like, it is iconic. It is, I mean, Hall of Fame. Like
OG6.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for them, and I think, like, in and of itself, if I didn't know about hockey, I would probably pick that out as, like, it's pretty good. It's okay,
It's all right,
But I agree. There's some bias there where that just, it rubs me the wrong way.
I just don't like them.
Yeah, which we all gotta, like, be okay with that. It's subjective, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Toronto... I don't like how they spell it out, to be honest. Nope. I think just put the Leaf there.
And that it's Leafs.
Yeah. Not to mention that it's Leafs. That is sad to me.
Nah.
Yeah, like, I also like the Four Nations with the Canadian Leaf. I think that's better, but again, I don't know why they insist on spelling everything out inside the Leaf. I just don't love that, honestly.
That Nations one is a lot better. It looks like they took more time for that one.
Yeah, for sure. Have you seen some of the traditional Toronto Maple Leafs logos? Like the green one?
Oh, the St. Pat's. Yeah.
Dude. They must have found some mangled leaf, because that green leaf is like disfigured, and I don't understand how they put that on a uniform.
The Marlies looks better than...
Yeah.
It, like, just putting that crown over it.
It's just sad, honestly. Like,
it's still not great, but it's better than that one.
For sure. So, I've got another hot take for my number 10, and it's the Edmonton Oilers. This is going to be a Canadian hate campaign for me. And I'm just kidding. I love Canadians. But this is one where I show my bias too, because I just don't like the drooping down from the letters. Like, it's a clever idea, but I hate the old one that I think Gretzky wore, even, with the orange and the white and black stripes and the blue on the top. It's just like, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate the spaceship oil thing.
I hate that.
I hate all of it. I hate their mascot. I hate it completely. I like the colors, and that's about where it ends. So,
I just realized from looking at it that it's supposed to be like those things that tap into the ground for oil. That's what those lines are.
Really?
It looks like it.
I never thought about it that way, but I guess it could be, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I could be very wrong, but that's just what it looks like to me.
I don't...
Just now.
The oil drop in the white space there, what do you call that, negative space or whatever?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't... It's just not cute for me,
Just not
and
cute.
then your alt logo is that? Like, what is that?
And that's your mascot.
What is that thing? Like, is it a spaceship? Is it... Because it'd be cooler if it was a spaceship.
Looks like an arrowhead.
Maybe, but then it's got like the gears on the end, And like just dark blue and then white on the bottom. Like, the colors could be cool. And the Oilers could be cool, but it just feels lazy, like you said about Toronto.
Yeah. And I don't know how that's a mascot for that.
Yeah. And this is one of the most dominant teams. I think Montreal is the most dominant team ever, right? But the Oilers certainly had their dominance too. And lately, not so much. I know they just got to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're iconic, and Canada, blah, 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 blah.
But every Canadian team is cursed, so...
That's right. So that's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to them. And I will say, too, these are just our opinions.
That's right.
We're not saying we hate these teams and wish these teams or players ill will. We're just saying these are kind of doo-doo.
Yeah.
I don't like using language like that.
Kind of poop and butt, if you ask me.
Try to be professional. Don't want to say doo-doo, but...
Definitely not. Sometimes it's necessary.
It is what it is.
That's right.
It is what it is. My number 9. And I'm willing to change this later to see what they can come up with in the future.
Did you already say your 10?
Yes, I said Toronto.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, 9. Okay, I'm sorry, man.
Number 9, they have time to redeem themselves. The Utah Hockey Club.
There you go.
I know, there's more to come from this.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's on here.
Yeah.
I don't like it right now. I thought I did, and then I watched the game. Because I'm a fan of, like, when teams, like, ghouls like do like the name, like a little diagonal strip across. I like that. And I saw that, and I was like, yeah, it looks good. And then I saw them play, and I said, no, that doesn't look good. So, I'm not a fan of that. Very curious to see what they come up with next season when they have their name and their identity. But at the moment, the Utah Hockey Club is my number 9.
Right. Do you like the color scheme?
I like the colors.
Me too.
I like the colors a lot.
Yeah.
I like that they're getting everybody excited about hockey by having the cheapest concessions you'll ever find.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It was like $3 for popcorn.
Yeah.
$5 for a beer. Like,
we need that everywhere.
But once they get more people in there, they're gonna have to start.
And they're doing well. They're doing
prices.
better than I think Arizona ever did, which is cool. I also don't like the Utah Hockey Club. Not on my list, but that's mostly because I think it's just this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like you said, what they're going to do next. I know they had like a Yeti leading last time I checked, which is not cool because that was Colorado's thing in one of their past alt logos.
So I like the idea they did where they reached out for fan votes and suggestions. But when I saw some of those suggestions over the summer, I was like, no fan should have any say. Or some of them were awful. I was saying them out loud to myself, reading every single one of them. And I said, you know what? I would not want to say I was a fan of that team. I would not say I want to play for that team. I would not want to say I watched that team on TV.
They're truly bad.
It was bad. It was some bad suggestions.
Yeah, I think the only two that were even decent were Mammoth and Yeti, and both of those are Colorado. Like I said, the Yeti was their alt logo, so it's like, come up with something new, maybe? Or, hey, how about, like I've told you 100 times, how about Salt Lake City? Because that has a better, like, rhythm to it to me than Utah. The Storm and Mormons, you know?
It used to be called Salt Lake.
Sure. All right, so for my number 9, I have the Winnipeg Jets logo, the primary. For me, this is truly abysmal, and mostly because of how lazy it is. I understand, like, it's fairly well done, except for, like, the clip art plane over a leaf. Like, how sad is that? And anytime you do red, white, and blue, it's just not my cup of tea. Their mascot is pretty cool, but they've got some awesome Christmas sweaters you should check out.
It looks like a logo for an airline.
Yeah, which isn't great because most of them are not good.
No.
I don't know. The city of Winnipeg is already pretty nothing from what I hear, except for like food and snow. So I feel like they might deserve better than this.
Probably.
And I feel like they've had better with alternate logos that are more nostalgic, like the Jets spelled out, which is cooler. Still not my favorite personally, but it's much better than this.
Yeah.
So why does the NHL have to like, oh, well, that was a good thing that people liked. How about we changed it to something nobody likes because we can't pay a designer? Because most Winnipeg fans don't like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lazy. So I hate like the pointed part at the top.
I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like
the white
that
space
divot.
in the circle. Yeah. I just don't understand it. Hey, let's put a leaf under a plane.
I like the one that just says Jets.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Right. With like the big letters, and is the J a hockey stick in that one?
I think so.
But it's like dark blue and red, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, those were cooler. I definitely like those more. But
my number 8 is the Winnipeg Jets.
Okay.
For the same reasons you just said.
Yeah.
I like the one that just says Jets. I like that one. I think they can start worrying about working on their logo when they start performing well in the playoffs.
Yeah, that'd be great. They haven't been a great playoff team. I think Hellebuck kind of falls apart, but right now they're definitely on a heater, just like last year in the regular season. I'm curious if they're going for the Toronto effect right now. Like, they want to blast through the regular season, be amazing, and then just fall apart in the playoffs. Or
Yeah.
I don't know if something's going on in the locker room, but nevertheless, that logo could be better. So, I don't know. And we're going to get into some spicy territory because what did you have this for in your top?
I had this one at number 8.
Okay, so my number 8 for the worst is the same as Larry's number 8 for the best. From the terrifying mascot to, I think, everything besides the colors, I truly hate this logo, and it is the Vancouver Canucks. I'm super stoked that this team is getting better. I feel like they deserve a better fate than they've had, and I love a lot of people on this team. But I wish they just stuck to the orca and not the weird part underneath that's the wave or whatever that's breaking weirdly, like glass. Yeah, I can't stand it. I've never understood it. Again, unless you just cut that bottom part out, it'd be pretty cool. And I feel like there's so much more potential, especially when you have Johnny Canuck sitting right there, like classic NHL. Just have a, in my opinion, much more boring logo and just, yep. So, sorry to say it, bud.
I mean, whatever.
I can't stand it, yeah. But their mascot is, see, like Gritty's creepy in the right way.
That's nightmare fuel.
That orca is truly, like, menacing. I don't know. I would be scared if I was a little kid and that thing came up to me.
Yeah, that thing it's horrifying.
Yeah. We wanted, like, goofy, scary energy, you know, like, not that, because I'm scared. What do you think of their logo, the third one with the stick straight and the blue and green?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I have a hard time sometimes remembering what it's supposed to be.
Right.
It's like, is that a hockey stick? And I just look at it and go, is it supposed to be?
Yeah. It's kind of boring, right? I mean,
yeah.
I hear what you're saying. It's not bad. I think it's better than this one, in my personal opinion, but the colors are really the only thing that hold the whole thing up for me. So, I'm on the Canada hate campaign here.
Yeah, hate campaign. There you go. My number 7. And they're only on here because I don't actually hate this logo all that much. I just have to say it's garbage and it's trash because of who my number 1 favorite team is. The New Jersey Devils.
Didn't you just get done saying earlier on the Game Boy that you liked it?
I did like it on the Game Boy. And then when I
Heck yeah.
growed up and became a fan of their arch rival, I was like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Gotta stay loyal. I gotta stay true to the whatever.
The number 1.
True to the number 1, yeah.
That's right.
So the New Jersey Devils, and honestly, it's not really all that bad. I get what they're doing in there. Mm-hmm. I see it when I look at the logo. I see New Jersey Devils.
I hear what you're
with the
saying,
horns.
though. It's not ideal.
It's not the worst. It's not the best. But at the end of the day,
screw them.
Puck the Devils.
Yeah, I love the Devils and the Rangers, but I absolutely hear what you're saying. Like, but the colors are cool.
The colors are good.
I like the colors a lot. Yeah.
Their special for their Stadium Series was good.
Yeah, another like nostalgic look, like similar to the Avs. They definitely had their dominance, you know, and I think that's what carries a lot of the love for that logo for people. But I definitely hear what you're saying. It's a tough one. All right, number 7. I think we can all agree that everyone hates this team except for the people that live there. I think it's lazy. I think it's boring. I think there's so much potential with this name, and that is the Vegas Golden Knights. I just want to know, like, why an expansion team chose this. Like, I know they came before Seattle, and they showed us, hey, guess what? The NHL logos can still suck. But come on, like, you can do better than this. Or at least after Seattle, like, okay, we learned our lesson. Let's, like, rebrand. Let's look at, like, what they did and take cues from it. No. And I think one of my favorite things out there that I've seen on Twitter is a pink flamingo jersey.
I love that
you can buy.
I love that.
It's like a flamingo wrapped around the Abysmal logo. What do you think of, like, their shoulder patch, like, because I think those are better, the swords around.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That's much cooler, right?
Dude, I would buy that off a boardwalk in the Florida Keys in a heartbeat.
Oh, the flamingo one? Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. I also hate the gray that they wear with the black and gold and red and white. Like, can you just stop adding colors? And it's not good. But I know they've got, like, a lot of people love the mustard ones. But again, for me, wow, you put a V in a helmet. How original and how unique. And, like, this clip
Dude,
art
I just
shield.
noticed that.
What? Really? You never saw the V? That's fantastic.
I just noticed that because
Yeah.
I like this logo when I first saw it.
Right.
And I think this might be the one we're not going to say I disagree, but I don't hate this one.
Gotcha.
It is on my list. But I don't hate it that much. Actually, I have to say I do hate it because I put it pretty high.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, why is it on your list then?
Yeah, that's a good point.
You just hate the team.
That's a good point. So ignore everything I just said. I would buy that jersey on a boardwalk in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, for sure. But I just think the Shield is boring. And again, like, you've got the Vegas Golden Knights. It's a shiny city. It's an awesome, like, money maker and a great market and a great arena. I mean, you can do better.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Even if you like it, you can do better than that.
Yeah.
But
I will say, I like whatever they use to get that little shimmery gold effect on their gold jerseys.
like the mustardy ones?
Whatever like makes it look like it's glittering and shimmering. I like that.
That is very cool. There's
Whatever
a lot
that
to
is.
love about that franchise.
Do they use their shoulder logo as a primary? Is that what
Not-
they use on the gold ones? It's all
Not
gold?
that I can remember. Maybe they did with that No, the outdoor one was that, like, kind of weird V.
Oh, like the Vancouver one.
The colors were cool, but the V kind of looked weird. But was that Winter Classic that they played with the Kraken? I don't know, but
I think so.
that was cooler. Whatever they wore, I think it was the mustard ones they wore against the Avalanche at Lake Tahoe a few years back. Those were decent. I think they had the shoulder patches on, and that's always cool. Like, this team, like, obviously the arena's electric, the noise in there. This franchise obviously won a cup. They're always there. They're always pretty good. But we hate them, of course,
Yeah.
because the way they treat players.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to hate about them. It feels like they're cheating with the LTIR thing. I get it. Like, they put the loophole there, but
Sure.
it's still... I know I'm not alone in this.
No, probably not.
People hate Vegas.
Yeah.
But
My number six is the Carolina Hurricanes.
yeah.
I get what you're doing. I see you. I respect
I
what you're
see
doing.
you.
I don't like your primary logo. I know it's supposed to be a hurricane, and you're called the Carolina Hurricanes, but the hurricane flags on the hockey stick are better. I think that should be your primary logo. And I know you're so concerned about my opinion, and you'll take it to heart. I say this. Deeply. You're going to take it hard. I know. And all of Carolina listens to this very first episode of a
definitely.
podcast
They
from
are.
two schmucks in
They're
a
listening
living
live
room.
right now.
Yeah, they're listening live right now, yeah. I don't like it. Again, I see what you're doing. I respect it. I get it. It's a hurricane. Cool.
Is it?
I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be. But get it together.
It's like a puck and a hurricane at the same time, right?
Looks like it. You have better stuff in your wheelhouse. Do better.
Yeah, it feels like a high school hockey team.
It does.
You know?
It
What are
does.
you doing?
The flags on the stick are better.
It is better.
I like that one a lot.
Colors are cool.
The colors are great. Your colors are great.
But with the Whalers back in your wheelhouse, like...
Whale house.
Yes. Wow. That's amazing, Larry. Yeah, we don't call Larry Sesame Street for nothing.
You don't call Larry anything.
Big Bird. Yeah, so it's not great. I'll have to agree with you there. I mean, I showed a friend of mine who actually designed our logo. Shout out Joshua Petrello, Wonderbox. I showed him like every NHL logo just in isolation because he doesn't watch. He's not a sports guy. And I didn't tell him the names. And I was just like, what do you think this is? I showed him the Hurricanes logo. He was like, what is that? And I'm like, good question. But it's, yeah, you need to be a little bit more obvious about what you're creating, right? Like,
Yeah.
I agree, like, since we know the name, you and I, we can put it together. It's a hurricane, but
Yeah.
for other people, it's not great, so.
No.
All right, so for my number 6, I've got the New York Islanders. I know I had them as number 1 for the alternate, but just this lazy clip art looking crap with the giant letters and the Y for a hockey stick and the long island with the orange. Like, I swear an elementary schooler could put something together better than this. And, like, look at, like, the eye. It splits blue and orange with that. And I just, no. I love this team. I love pretty much all East Coast teams, but, like, why? Why are you doing this? Blue and orange is great. You've got the fishermen back there, and this is what you choose with that mascot and that horrible orange stripe. What is this, a retro or is this a stadium series?
That was a stadium series.
Yeah, no. Don't ever just put a big orange stripe across and write Isles. Like,
they played the Rangers for that one.
I mean, don't do that. It's just hideous. I don't know why. Again, another nostalgic, like, dominant team, right? I think the 80s. So people love it. But if you're being honest with yourself, it's not a good logo.
Well, I just got an email notification that we are no longer welcome in Long Island, New York.
Oh,
so.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, awesome.
Can't go visit my uncle anymore. It was worth it.
It was worth it. I will say, when they released that one for the Stadium Series, that was probably my least favorite out of the 4.
It's rough.
Rangers number was obviously my favorite. The white with the
I'm shocked.
NYR going down the front. I loved that one. The New Jersey one was great. The Flyers one was great. 2 teams that I should hate by association.
Respect where respect is earned.
Respect
right?
is exactly. That one though, that was probably my least favorite.
It's tough.
My number 5. You will probably. We'll probably agree that there's no need to go deep into a lot of details why. My number 5 is the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Enough said.
And that's it. Now, what
You're talking
was it?
they're just standard Lightning, like
yeah,
the one they have
I didn't
right
like
now?
that one.
Yeah.
I like the old one that says Tampa Bay across the top. I like that one.
Really?
Barely.
Okay.
The one that I saw that made me think, wow, this team has no hope of ever doing anything well graphically,
Yeah.
was they announced, I couldn't remember if it was a joke or if it was even real, but they did a third jersey as like a pirate skull.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
I forgot about that.
That was the most
Oh my
horrific,
gosh.
the most horrific thing I've ever seen
That was
on a
like-
jersey.
That was really bad.
I hated it.
I mean, yeah, that team's been dominant. They're great, but the only one I've liked is the black jerseys. Those look cool because, it's black and white. That's cool.
Yeah.
But, like, the lightning bolt is lazy. It's the circle around it is just not, like, it's not a complete circle, but, right, doesn't it, like, kind of, like, 70% of a circle. But yeah, it's not a great look to me. I think they could do better. It's lightning. Like, you could do something cool with that. The old ones are way worse, in my opinion. With the shape of the lightning bolt in the old ones, it's just like, again, elementary school level stuff. Like,
I think I like the older one because of the era it was in.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like
nostalgia.
Early 2000s, 90s stuff a lot. So it is probably nostalgia why I like that one a little bit more. But also,
it's got like an arcadey feel, right? Like,
kinda, yeah.
I remember going to like arcades and playing hockey games like before I was like watching hockey like every single time, you know. And I would play as the Lightning, and I know what you're saying. Like, it has that feel that you like, but I'm gonna have to agree with you on your pick there. So,
did you watch Rocket Power?
Rocket Power?
The cartoon on Nickelodeon. Rocket Power.
I did not.
There's this character on there. They call him Squid. His name is Sammy.
Yeah.
And I just realized the logo reminds me of the little lightning bolt on his t-shirt.
I'll have to check it out. It's hilarious.
And also, they got rid of Steven Stamkos, so...
Yeah, that in a very rude fashion. I mean, play-wise, it made sense, but that's classic Tampa and Vegas, like, always shrewd with business, except for Ross Colton. But, yeah, it's a bad look, right? So, number 5, we're going to get some more heat in here, because continuing my Canadian hate campaign, I'm disagreeing with Larry. This is the Calgary Flames. I think I said earlier when he mentioned the top, like, I understand that it carries a lot of nostalgic weight, and I love Calgary. I would love to live there someday, but I think one of the worst things I've ever seen is the black jersey with the white C and the yellow on the sides, the white stripe and the white numbers. I absolutely hate it. I really do. The only time I can think of, like, looking at that and being like, this is cool, is the Battle of Alberta. Like, that's pretty much the only time. And their mascot right now.
Yeah, what is that?
I can't understand how this 2-foot tongue looking dude with a, what is that, a bone? He's a dog, I guess.
That's a dog bone.
That dog is hideous, and what are they doing? They had a cool... I showed you the other one before.
Uh-huh.
The Bronco-looking thing. But this is truly sad, and I don't like the flames out the back. It just feels old to me, and I wish they would go back to their other logo. So,
looking at that guy more, I like him.
Of course you do.
I like him.
It's growing on you.
Yeah, that didn't take long.
There you go.
My number 4. If you remember a few minutes ago, I was like, oh, that one's not bad. And I looked and it was on here. I remembered why it's on here. Las Vegas Golden Knights. It gives off Affliction clothing vibes to me, the logo does. Like, I would see that on the back of your pockets, the destroyed jeans you paid $120 for at Buckle at the mall that fall apart in the washing machine after one wash.
You're right, it does.
Yeah, I feel like I would see that on either the front, like normally the flames, like the floral patterns, and there's a little helmet there.
Ugh.
That's what it reminds me of. And I remember that's why I put it on here. So yeah, I'm going to say Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's definitely, as my son would say, poopy butt cheeks.
There you go.
I really don't enjoy it, but great pick, man.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. I hate to put this team in here.
No, I should have. I forgot.
This logo, it's similar to the Jets for me, where it's just lazy, and it's red, white, and blue. This is the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think they're trying to do something with the Ohio State flag, wrapping around in kind of a similar fashion to like the Avalanche and Colorado Avalanche. And then they got like a, similar to the Dallas Stars, a horrendous star in the middle.
Yeah.
And their mascot
I like him.
Maybe the most hilarious thing I've ever seen.
I like him.
I like it because it's funny, but it's not as cool as Gritty to me, so it's just scary. And I don't know, that's a Blue Jacket, I guess.
He looks nervous, like he has something to say but can't or won't.
Yeah. That's perfect. His big red It's terrifying eyes and then that smile. I like their loud cannon every time. But that brings up like yet another team with the fantastic logo, that cannon that they have.
I like that one.
And the dark colors, like that one's cool.
With like the cream and the cream and navy blue.
The cream of the crop.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you like that one.
I do.
That's a good one.
Why? Why do they keep coming up with these butt logos and then just forgetting about the good ones? You know, I don't get it. So
also, we would be remiss if we didn't say R.I.P. Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah.
After speaking about the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's why I said I didn't want to put it in here.
Sure.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Johnny Gaudreau and his brother. Sucks. Yeah. So.
I love seeing like all the awesome like tributes they're doing, and the fact that like the 3 leading goal scorers right now all wear number 13. That's
Cole Caulfield.
So dope, and nothing but respect and love for how well Columbus is playing in spite of all the horrible stuff they've been through. And I feel for those players, and I want to go to a Columbus game really bad. I like that team. I really do. So just the logo could get better.
Yeah, your logo sucks.
Yeah, your logo needs to be better.
My number 3 was your number 10, the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Their outdoor one, not great.
Yeah.
Look like that big old, look like a blood drop on the front. the big old oil drop on it. I think that was that one.
Yeah, man. Oil Nation.
I didn't like it. Oil Nation, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
It's tough. I mean, we talked about that quite a bit, but good colors and tough logo.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, we also covered this one pretty heavily, but number 3, I've got the Carolina Hurricanes and their creepy logo yet again. What is that? Is it a pig? A brown pig? I don't know, but like we said before, is it a hurricane? Is it a puck? I don't know, but it sucks.
Hey!
So
that rhymed.
Yeah.
That should be their chant. Is it a hurricane? Is it a puck? I don't know, but it sucks.
If they ever get like really bad. So
yeah.
They're pretty good right now. But yeah, so.
My number 2. I didn't think this logo could get worse, but then someone in the NHL office approved a jersey colorway that looks like it came out of Hot Topic. Luckily, it would match the trip pants you wore in high school.
Oh.
The Dallas Stars.
Yeah.
That black and that lime green is just... So, it reminds me of... I've not been a fan of most of the All-Star Game jersey combination. Mm-hmm. I've just thought... The one last year looked like a Dorito. That was probably the best of the more recent ones I remember.
Yeah.
But man, that Dallas one.
It's a Dorito.
That lime green on that, it just...
It's sad.
I hate it. I hate their logo to begin with. That's really it. I don't know. I don't like it.
No,
it's
I
one we talk about. When we talk about this one comes up all the time.
It comes up every time.
And I hate it.
And I know I'm biased on Dallas, but yeah, I'm going to get to that because you know they're coming.
Yeah, of course. They have to be.
My number 2 is Smashville, the one and only Nashville Predators. Yeah, again, their mascot, boring. Their logo, again, I feel like has so much potential as the Predators. Like, I think I've seen some amazing saber-tooth logos out there. Their old one was much worse than it is now, so I'll give them credit for that. They made it a little bit better. And blue and yellow is a great combo. Like, there's so much you could do, and I think that's what frustrates me so much. This is not a biased thing. I truly, like, I don't get it. I don't get why the NHL hires these people that make just sad. Maybe, like, I think they want to keep some of the, like, nostalgia because that's what a lot of logos selling is and jersey selling is. But you can do better.
I mean, I like what they tried to do there. I like whatever the logo, whatever it is for the city of Nashville, the 3 stars. I like that a lot. And I feel like they could have used that a lot better. Like you said. It could have been so much better. Take Smashville off.
Smashville is your favorite one, though.
That is my least favorite thing I've ever seen.
It's my least favorite NHL jersey I've ever seen. Yeah.
And honestly, I'm actually upset I didn't include... Well, we only did logos. We didn't do, like, the jersey combination logos yet. But that one, we all know what that one is for me. So... Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I think that the Smashville should be a meme. Like, every time they're terrible. You know that, like, Twitter account, hockey images that precede?
Yeah.
They should just have that. And then, like, when they get beat down, like, 10-0 or something, which they're doing great at doing right now.
They're doing great at that right now.
But, yeah, it's horrible, man. So.
My number 1 is... incredibly coated in nothing but bias, because this is my least favorite team in all of sports. I despise this team with everything within me. I've seen this team play in their home city, and I was reminded of why I hate this team. It actually solidified it for me. I saw them, I spent my time in this city. I'm sure this city has a lot to offer and could be fun, but I'll never know, because my one time there, I was like, you know what? No, I do hate it here. I hate this. Mm-hmm. The St. Louis Blues.
Yep. We share that hatred.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. Man, oh man, that's all I got to say.
I hear you, man. Like, I personally don't hate their logo. As much as I hate that team, because there is not the Minnesota Wild, not the Vegas Golden Knights, not Dallas, not Nashville. There is not a team that I like. Can't watch them, can't do it. But the Blues come the closest to it.
The Blues are that for me.
I can't stand them. I think the thing that like truly pushed that into me completely, like, every time I see them, I just cringe. And it was when, like, all their fans went after Nazem Kadri. Like, that really did it for me. But they've got a lot to hate. I mean, Bennington.
Oh, God. I think they are the one team I can't watch.
Yeah.
I've told you before, I've gone to watch a game, and it'll just be them and another team, and I'll be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I used to like watching Tarasenko there. I mean, he's a star, and...
They have good talent.
They've definitely had a lot of good talent come through there. But if anything gives off hillbilly vibes, it's that team in Nashville. So can't stand it, and I support you. I support you, my friend.
Thank you.
Brothers in hate.
It's not like we're in a AA meeting or...
That's right.
Whatever, support group, I don't know.
It's been 0 days since my last...
outburst about the St. Louis Blues. It's true, actually.
So my number one is the Dallas Stars. Exactly what Larry said. Like that bright neon green with the like photo shoot they did with the, what is that even, like Battlestar Galactica?
It's like RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. That's what it is. Looking face shield. It's terrible. I think it's an embarrassment to the state of Texas. I think Texas deserves another hockey team, actually. And I love the Dallas Stars, the team. I love the talent there. I think they've been very successful as a franchise. Like, and again, what is the NHL doing?
That picture might have 2 of my least favorite things in it. Is that supposed to be Jamie Benn?
I think, the captain.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
They relocated from Minnesota when they were the Minnesota North Stars.
Great logo.
A lot of people love that one. Definitely, regardless of anyone's opinion, hands down better than this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a little Subway looking, but, why this star, why a D over it, we'll never know.
Well, for Dallas, Texas.
Well, yeah, but it's just clip art looking,
Yeah.
Why are you doing that? You gotta have better than that.
You would think.
So, yeah.
I'm surprised Minnesota didn't make it on your list.
You know, that's something I was going to bring up is, like, it is too busy, but compared to those 10...
It's better than all those.
It's definitely better designed, even though there's too many things going on. And that team has grown on me. Like, they had a small rivalry with the Avs, and I've also become less of a homer over the years where I watch every team, and that certainly includes Minnesota. They've gotten so much more exciting, and Kaprizov, I tweeted about it today, but he's made me fall in love with the Minnesota Wild. I love what they're doing, and so now it's kind of growing on me a little bit as far as more of the uniforms. The logo still doesn't do it for me, but yeah.
I will say, too, might as well just give a little more background here. I used to be a homer big time when I first started getting heavily into hockey. A little background, I was a gung-ho Chicago Blackhawks fan, and when I first started watching them, it's the only team I cared about. It's the only team I wanted to watch. It's the only team I wanted to root for. Didn't want to watch any other hockey. And then the more I started watching it and started getting heavily into hockey, I was like, well, that's dumb. Let's watch everybody. Let's watch everything.
Yeah.
And now I've transitioned from only watching the Blackhawks to disliking the Blackhawks now. They're no longer my favorite team.
Yeah.
After all the stuff they had come out within their organization and stuff like that, and just completely going off the deep end. I don't want to sound like a bandwagoner, but just like as an organization just completely fell off.
Yeah.
I didn't want to really mess with any of that. And then went to the New York Rangers because I've always loved the city of New York. It's one of my favorite places to go ever.
Sure.
I love that city a lot. Dream is to go to a New York Rangers game at Madison Square Garden someday. But yeah, just made the jump to there. I'm glad. Probably wouldn't have if I remained a homer, only watching one team all the time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a conversation we had a little bit leading up into, like, finally making the jump to make this podcast, but I want to get away from being a homer even more personally. I do love being a sports fan. You should root for your team. There's nothing wrong with, like, being biased, just acknowledging it. If you're going to talk about hockey, like,
right,
you need to at least be aware of it and be willing to watch other teams. I mean, I know, like, even when I just grew up watching, like, Notre Dame, watching, like, Anders Lee, I mean, and how dominant they were, I was super biased. And I still can be, like, Denver's the only team I've ever loved the same, but, that's the team I watched, and you should have that love for hockey, but it's also exciting to just appreciate the sport and see talent where it is, because it's certainly on the teams you hate. It is, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree, because, like, I like the Rangers, and then, you go to other leagues. I'm wearing a Kalamazoo Wings hat right now. I like the Toledo Walleyes. Like, it's easier to jump around with those. And, like, my goal, too, is to buy jerseys from these CHL games we go to. So I have something to wear if we ever do start doing video for these, and just have something to just show that I truly do love and appreciate the beautiful sport that is
absolutely
hockey.
Yeah, like, I remember we took Judah to his first hockey game, and he said, "Go team, go team," and we're like, "Which one?" He's like, "Go teams, everybody do your best."
Everybody do your best. Everybody have fun.
And that's just kind of the energy I want to, like, keep in him, I appreciate that about kids, that they don't have the same biases we do yet.
Sure.
He's certainly growing into it, but
sure.
It's just cool to have that natural love of hockey. So I hope, like you said, we can start doing videos sometime soon, and we want to bring you guys more content. So stay tuned for that, and please subscribe on YouTube. Go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and I think we have yet to make a Facebook, but we'll try to, like, get on what we can and keep pushing out that fun content for you. Like I said, whatever we see in hockey, we appreciate, whether it's women's teams, whether it's any of the big leagues, minor leagues, we're gonna shout it out. So,
and bear with us too as we start out, because this is currently being recorded on my iPhone, so it's gonna take us a little bit to work out all the kinks and figure out how to get everything to flow smoothly and find our identity with all of this. So just bear with us on that. It's probably not going to be perfect off the rip, and it's not going to be just perfect, I guess.
But we're having fun.
That's another word I was looking for. We
like,
are having fun. Everybody just have fun.
Yeah, and I wanna put up a poll sometime in the next month or so and just get some people's opinions about favorite logos and favorite teams, and have fun discussions like me and Larry have, because that's what this is all about, is just like having fun, you know. And I like hearing when people disagree and just having that and seeing their perspective, like, why do you like the St. Louis Blues, or why do you like yeah, that's a tough one, but why do you like the Oilers, or whichever one it is. Like, I know Leafs fans, so it's cool hearing about their passion. Even if I disagree on the team itself, it's still exciting, and that's
you gotta give it to the people who stick with their teams even though they're cursed. Like, you gotta give it to them. I commend them for that.
Absolutely.
I couldn't do that. That's why I have so much respect for them.
Yeah, another thing I want to bring people on, like, not just fellas, like anybody who wants to come on, like, talk hockey, your favorite team. We'll definitely be going to games with other people, so it'll be fun to have other hosts with us. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So it's been good chatting with you, man.
It's been good chatting with you as well. It almost feels natural.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Almost feels natural. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Hope you come back for more. Hope you appreciate what we're trying to do. And again, just be patient with us while we figure all this out. We'll get there. It'll probably get easier as we do each one. And we don't really have a schedule yet, do we?
We don't. We're going to get that hammered out. But thanks for joining us on the Hockey Fellas podcast.